Hello, welcome back everybody. It's another video. It's a Manly Monday video. So welcome. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and yeah, I'm back in my favorite park, just sitting next to a good old tree friend again. Different spot now, as you can see. But it's a beautiful sunny day today. It's quite warm actually. I don't need this jacket, but you never know. It may look warm, but it may be cold. So yeah, it's a beautiful day today, and it's another Manly Monday. So it's been a while. I had a little break, but we'll continue on from our little mini series. Oh, there's some birds. It's so jittery. Well, hopefully it's not jittery when they're looking at my face. But, yeah. Welcome back. So, we're going to continue on with how the lack of manliness in society is affecting society. And we can see that most evidently in the Western society, especially America, where Obama put in laws in place to make it more profitable for single mothers, especially in the black community. And so we can see this where more single mothers, and then just society itself, men aren't holding women accountable, society's not holding women accountable, feminism movement, all that stuff. And it's leading to more single females. The state also benefits from this as well, because they get not only money from tax money from alimony, but they get tax money from child support as well. So while using that money, the state becomes richer. So the state entices all this to happen, and they want this to happen, right, for those specific reasons. Now, what does that do to society? Well, you see, if a child grows up in this, we're speaking generalities here, we're speaking averages, we're speaking chances. There's always exceptions to rules, yes. But you see, when a child grows up in a single mother home, or children grow up in single mother homes, they usually have higher rates of depression, they have higher rates of suicide, they have higher rates of criminal activity, they have lower grades in school, they have less chance of getting into university, they have higher chance of dropping out of university, they have higher chance of becoming, if they're women, becoming single mothers themselves. Yeah, just all the deficits of society come when you're raised from a woman, which is a problem, because that leads to many issues. Like, we have to deal with these, right? We have to deal with the criminals, right? When there's more criminals in society, more innocent people get hurt. Less educated people means a dumber society, means less advancements going forward, less things happening in society. High rates of suicide and depression, well, that's obviously a horrible thing. We're killing out the young, killing out our people, right? But the interesting thing is, very weird thing is, if you see this with a single father, it's not true. A single father, kids raised in a single father household are equal in the odds and averages of children raised in a two-parent household. So this is very interesting to see, and we know why. We need that father figure, that strict man, strict person to whip people into shape and make them do what they're supposed to do. So this is very interesting, to say the least. And so we can say with the the route that men are taking the sideline, letting feminism rule, letting women do what they want, letting women be the bosses, it's counterintuitive to society. It's destructive for society. Also, men are society. We are the plumbers, we are the carpenters, we're the people that build the big buildings, we're the ones that do all these works, clean the sewers, take the roads, do the night shift, guard duty, all these things, police officers, military. Men run society, and without them, it would be complete collapse. And the problem is that more and more men are not willing to go out there and do it. They see no drive. It's easier for a man to stay in his mama's basement and grow up that way, right? And more men are becoming more disconnected with the society as a whole, going their own way, doing their own thing, creating their own communities, right? That MGT, men go their own way, MGTOW, that whole community group, right? They're doing all these things, which also aren't intuitive, aren't productive for society. Right? Men and women were meant to work together. You know? Like, you look throughout all of history, one man has many wives, all throughout history, right? And not just the kings. The kings had more, but even the shepherds at the bottom, right? You got biblical stories, historical stories, right? Other religious texts talking about men having many wives. And it was common. That's a common thing to do, right? And but that's all changed, right? Society, especially Christianity, came in and tried to put a stop to the natural way of things, the natural order of things, which, you know, it's argued whether you look at Luther or other parts of the Bible, it's argued whether polygamy is allowed or not, but still, it's one of those natural things in life. But you have to take you have to keep people in check. You have to keep your woman in check. You have to make sure they're doing the right things. But when men go their own way, which is what we're seeing in today's society, they don't. They just, I don't know. They, well, they sleep with women. They never settle down, right? Men want a bunch of different women. It's like, okay, they've always been whores and prostitutes throughout history. Go to a whorehouse then, right? Go find the prostitutes. Don't go sleeping around with all these other weird women. Innocent women. Don't take the innocence of these women, right? And if you want multiple women, work hard, build yourself up, right? Become a man, gain resources, and then have your multiple wives. But they don't do that, right? Men just go in their own way, then they want to sleep and have fun. They don't care. They're looking for that one to settle down. So men are just equally into the problem as women, right? Men have to hold women accountable. Men have to hold their own actions accountable too. And, you know, you reap what you sow, so to speak. So, but you know, another sad thing about this whole thing in society is we're looking at 50% of women that are age 30 are predicted to die single and alone. No children, no husband. In America, at least. Western world. And that's an extent of feminism and men go their own way and all these different movements instead of people just working towards a more natural state of life. Right? You know, look back at history, look back at how we function throughout societal means. Communities, families, groups, things like that. When we build societies on like-mindedness, you know, you never went and merged with a society you didn't agree with. That always started with war. People that, you know, civilization started because people thought the same way. You know, and when you look back through the myths and the legends and the stories and the religions of all these different groups around the world, they all come down to a very similar construct, right? There's a lot of natural order or natural law of things, and so, but we're trying to remove that. We're trying to get rid of that today. And I would argue we've been trying to get rid of that for 2,000 years with the Abrahamic religions. But there's a very lost sense. We have a great sense of loss that we're missing out when we live in today's world. And yeah, it's crazy. Another reason why men have to start being men is when you look at, like, here's the way I talk about natural law and then men being men, is if we removed all forms of modern technology right now, if we just took the people and threw them right into the wilderness, women would quickly get into their womanly roles and men would quickly get into their manly roles, right? And men that didn't want to, they'd get thrown out really fast, right? And we can see why this happens, right? There's been no matriarchal societies that survived ever. And if they have survived, it's because of men, patriarchies, right? Men allowed them to live or supported them to live, right? Like the Queen of England. You think she did everything? No, she had lots of men around her that were very influential and very smart, right? And men were very loyal. And that's a key characteristics of men in almost all religions. Loyalty and honor were huge, right? You hold your loyalty, you hold your honor. And that's a huge thing that was instilled in men in all cultures and all religions. And so you don't go and you chop your own queen up because she's a woman. You're loyal to her and honorable to her, right? So, but when we look at just natural society and the natural order of things, matriarchs don't survive, and when you take and put men and women into the wild, they quickly change from what they are today. They become very, very different from what they are today. So, but that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on this journey of improving ourselves. And one of my goals moving forward is to learn trees, learn the names of the different trees in this park, the different species in this park. So, I know there's palms, but I don't know this tree that I'm sitting on. So, if anybody knows what species of tree this is, I'd love to hear. So, yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, leave a like and subscribe. If you don't like it, put a dislike. I want to see how many haters I can get. And yeah, until next time.